Yo, what is up, everybody? Bradley Walker here. In today's video, got a fire topic for you guys. I'm going to be talking about 4 golden rules to take your trading to the next level. Now, if you implement this stuff into your everyday life while you are trading, you're definitely going to see higher success. It's going to definitely increase the chances that you trade successfully in the foreign exchange markets. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Let's go. Rule number 1. Don't think about the money. Do not think about the money when you are just getting started trading in the foreign exchange markets. That's going to come way later after you learn all of the skill sets and disciplines and habits that it takes to be a successful trader. Now, you might see me or my partner or any other traders out there posting significant profits that they're making every single day. And you might want to hop in and be like, yo, I want to start making money like that. But you don't realize the behind the scenes. You don't realize what it took us and other traders to get to the point where we're making significant profits doing this full-time trading on a daily basis. Behind the scenes, there was a lot of ups and downs. There was a lot of learning and discipline and habit forming that we had to do in order to start trading more successfully. And if you come into the market simply focusing on making money, when you take a trade, you are going to get very scared. You're going to be trading scared because you have no idea what you are doing. You're trading simply focusing on the money. So if you go into a slight drawdown, you might want to move your stop loss down so you don't hit that stop loss point, or you might close, the order preemptively. You might get out of the trade and it starts to pull down against you, but then actually goes back up in your right direction in your favor. And same thing on the flip side. If you're focused on the money and you start to make a little bit of profit, you may want to close that trade. You may want to hop out and lock in those profits. You might close it too soon. And the last thing you want to do is to cut your profits short and to let your losers become bigger losers. You do not want to move your stop loss. You do not want to close preemptively. You want to make sure that you're not focusing too much on the money and start trading with your strategy. You need to develop a strategy on how to trade successfully in the foreign exchange market. So you have to learn the habits, the disciplines, the skill sets that it takes to actually trade the market successfully. So don't focus too much early on the money. This is definitely going to cause you a lot of trauma early on if you're focused too much on that capital. Definitely good, in my opinion. Start off with the demo trading, start practicing, learn how to implement whatever strategy you're implementing, whether it's one of ours or your own or someone else's, whatever it may be. Learn how to start implementing that strategy on a daily basis. Learn how to place the trades, get comfortable with the platform that you're trading on, how to read the charts, just the simple basics, and then start to go live. And when you do go live, definitely start small. Don't focus on that P&L way too much because you're going to end up trading scared. I've seen traders who have been trading with me where I call out a trade, they take that trade, and then they end up going into a drawdown a little bit and they close the trade before our stop loss point, and then the trade ends up coming back in the right direction. And I'm like, yo, what was up? What happened? And they're like, oh, I got scared. I was losing money, blah, blah, blah. So what you can do, I personally don't do this because I'm good at the math anyways. I can look at the charts and calculate my lot size or my unit size times the amount of pips that I am currently up or down on a trade and just do it without looking at the P&L. So there's no point in me hiding it. But early on, if you need to, definitely not a bad thing to hide that P&L. So you can simply just focus on your strategy. If you stick to your strategy and you hit your stop loss, great, you stuck to your strategy. If you stick to your strategy and you hit your take profit, great, you stuck to the strategy. But do not start closing trades early based on emotions. This is definitely going to be extremely detrimental when you are first getting started trading successfully. And definitely start small. Like I said, maybe throw in, I recommend at least $1,000 to get started. But if you don't have that, a lot of brokerages will let you start with a lot less than that. So you can definitely start trading with a little bit less, but just make sure your lot size and your risk is going to, correlate with the account size that you have. But start small, learn the basics, start getting used to sticking to your strategy, get used to not, focusing on the money too much. And in the long run, you're going to be a lot better of a trader. Now let's hop into number 2. Rule number 2, form good habits. You have to create good habits. This is like anything else in life. You have to develop a habit. Now, let's take a look real quick at the definition of habit. A settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. Now, habits can definitely be good or they can be bad. But either way, once you get into the habit of doing something, it is going to be extremely hard to give it up. You develop a habit by doing things day after day, staying disciplined, sticking to what you said you were going to do. You want to make sure that you're developing these habits day in and day out. Create a schedule. It's like going to the gym. If you just get started and you go one time and then you don't go again, and then maybe you start up again a little bit later on, maybe a few weeks later, and keep going like that, you're not going to develop a habit. But if you go every single day, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you set a time that you were going to stick to it and to actually show up and put the work in, you're going to start to develop a habit. And then eventually that habit's going to be hard to break. You're going to be addicted to it. You might wake up on Monday morning and be like, oh man, I got to go to the gym. Every Monday I go to the gym. I have to go today. Oh, well, why don't you come hang out? Nah, man, I have to go to the gym. I've been putting the work in. I've been getting results. I like the way that this makes me feel and look. So I'm going to keep putting in that work. And it's the same with Forex trading or anything else in life. You have to say you're going to do something, stick to what you said you were going to do, and be consistent with that time after time again for the foreseeable future. That way you can develop a successful habit on trading. Now I'm going to show you guys a little bit of an example with these stick figure guys that I have created here. You can see this one guy is happy. This other guy is sad. He's crying, and he's kind of looking over this way at this guy who's doing good, with a little bit of resentment and disappointment in his eyes, knowing that he didn't create those good habits. So this guy over here has a Forex journal, sticking to a well-proven strategy. They've back tested that strategy, so it's proven, and they're sticking to it. They stick to focusing on the overall ROI percentage and actually implementing that strategy to make money rather than just focusing on the money. They're creating all of these good habits. You know, they're doing their research. They're studying every single day. They are looking at the news and fundamentals to make sure they're not trading against any major news events. And then you got this guy over here who looks super, super sad because he's over trading. He's over leveraged. He keeps revenge trading. He doesn't write down any of his trades or go back and look at his trades to make sure that he was actually sticking to his strategy, you know, doing analysis even on his losses. He's cutting his profits way too fast, and he's also letting his losers run for way too long. So obviously, which person would you want to be in this scenario? This guy is the obvious answer. You know, you want to create those good habits. That way you can start making consistent profits in the foreign exchange markets. And when you put in the work day in and day out, and you stick to those habits and you create good habits with your trading, you're going to start seeing some results, and it's going to start to make you feel good. You know, rather than doing a bad habit like every night you eat junk food and you feel like crap that night, you feel bad about yourself, your stomach doesn't feel good. With trading, it's the same thing. If you start taking super big losses, you know, risking too much, going against your good habits, you're going to start to feel very, very bad. And it can definitely cause a very traumatic experience when you're trading in the foreign exchange markets. You know, losing money, you know, if you've ever been there, if you've lost cash, it is not a fun thing. So I don't use the word traumatic very lightly. I've been in points in time where I questioned my entire existence from losing money in the Forex markets because I didn't create good habits. I kept doing stupid shit. And eventually I developed the discipline and skill sets to start building up the right habits and sticking them consistently, and then seeing the results in the long term. And it feels great. You know, same thing with like I said, I always use this example of going to the gym. You know, you put in the work, you want to lose some weight, you want to start building muscle, you go to the gym every single day, you're putting in that work day in, day out, starts to make you feel good, you start to look good, you have more energy, all of these things come with it, and you don't want to give it up, you don't want to revert back, so you end up having a higher chance of sticking to it. And on average, they say a habit takes about 28 days to form and only a few days to break. So it's going to take some time to develop these good habits. That's why you need a support system and a community, which is why here at POE, we have created this Discord, giving you free access. Make sure you check out the link in the description and get into our community. That way, if you do have bad times or you're going through a rough spot or you're questioning things, you can talk to us. We have years of experience trading in the foreign exchange markets and can definitely guide you and give you advice along the way. So you want to make sure that you are creating good habits. So let's just kind of do a quick review. You know, don't focus on the money too much and create good habits. Now let's hop into number 3. Rule number 3 is kind of going to be like a little bit of a two-parter. Size down after you go on a losing streak, or simply just take some time off. Now, any successful trader knows these two things very, very well. You know, the problem with people who are trading is they want to start making up all of that money very fast. They want to start revenge trading. So they'll take, you know, a 3-4 trade losing streak. They're not doing well, and they want to either increase that position size to make it all up, or just go back into the markets with a vengeance and just make all of that money back. But successful traders know that when you go into a losing streak, when you go into a little bit of a slump and you start trading, you know, based on emotions, whatever it may be, when you start getting into this trading slump, you step back a little bit. So you either, like I said, take some time off to evaluate everything, make sure you're still sticking to your strategy, make sure it doesn't need tweaked at all, or you're cutting down on that position size. Now, obviously, you know, like I said, the rule number 1, if you were focused on the money too much, you're definitely not going to want to cut down on your size, and you're not going to want to stop trading because you're focused so much on making money. Oh, markets are open 24/7, 5 days a week. I could just trade nonstop. I could trade all day long. And they don't ever take a step back, and they go into a losing streak, want a revenge trade, start risking too much money to try to make it all back, and they end up blowing their account 99% of the time. There's a reason most traders are losing money in the Forex markets. It's because they're focused too much on money. They don't have good habits, and they're not willing to step back or to cut back their position size while trading. It is super, super important. Every successful trader, once they go on this little bit of a losing streak, they will step back and kind of do a reflection period in their life. It's like anything else that you're going through in life. Like I said, losing money is definitely traumatic. If you've ever lost money, it does not feel good. So when it does happen, take a step back, look in the mirror, and start looking over your strategy. Are you doing analysis on your losses? Are you sticking to the good habits that you should be sticking to? Or did you start trading recklessly and just focusing too much on making big profits? Now let's take a look at a little bit of a visual example. So let's just say this is your trading account. Okay, you start off here going pretty well, come down a little bit, you're consistently going up, making some nice profits, nothing too crazy happens. And then all of a sudden 1 week, bam, drop, and you lose a shit ton of money. Like I said, it's not going to feel good, but what most traders are going to try to do is to make all of that money back up in one shot. Instead of realizing, cut back, take a step back, and, do some self-reflection and figure out what is wrong, what is going on that is causing you to take such a massive loss, because you should never be taking losses that are going to significantly reduce your capital by that much. You don't want to risk too much money. So rather than just trying to make it all back at once, maybe step back a little bit, maybe come up a little bit, you come back down a tiny bit, and slowly work your way back up until your account is building up again. You don't want to come down and drop all of a sudden. You definitely don't want to do that. Now, like I said, what a lot of poor traders are going to do is try to make all of that money back up in one swift swoop, instead of realizing they can slowly build it back up and build up that confidence again, rather than just taking a super fat loss. Because odds are, if you look, let's draw a little support line, you're coming right back to where you started, and you're going to end up blowing your account if you start revenge trading and you're not willing to take a step back and take some time off to reevaluate some things. So there's two ways you can go about this. Okay, you can look at this and you take this fat loss, and if you're an experienced trader, you can start trading smaller lot sizes and cut back on your position size, and then slowly start to work your way back up. Once you start to see that consistent rise and that consistent profit again, then you can increase that position size and start to work your way back up again. You take that big loss again, you slow it down a little bit, figure out what you need to fix, what you need to tweak, and then you start trading those bigger position sizes again. Now, if you're just getting started trading and you are a beginner trader, simply just take some time off. Find a mentor, find a coach, and do some research online, whatever it is. There's so much free information online nowadays. We have a free course. We have well over 150, 160 videos on YouTube that you can check out, and a lot of other people and platforms out there as well. So take some time off, do some research, figure out what you need to change, go back and look at what caused you to take that loss. Did you stick to your strategy? Did you stick to your analysis? If you can't identify what you did wrong, like I said, do some research to figure out what you can do moving forward. Take a step back, lower that position size, and then start slowly increasing it once you build back up the account and the confidence and you've actually tweaked what needs to be tweaked. And if you haven't been trading that long, if you are a beginner trader, take some time off, reevaluate, do your research, and then come back into the market smarter. And same thing, when you come back into the markets, go in with a smaller position size. Start building up that confidence again, start proving that what you learned, what you research is actually working in your favor, and then increase that position size back to what it originally was and start building it back up again. So let's take a step back here and recap a little bit. So we talked about three things so far, three different rules. Rule number one, don't focus too much on the capital when you are first getting started, the P&L. Don't focus too much on the amount of money that you're making. Number two, develop and create good habits. And number three, when you take a losing trade, when you go into a losing streak or you get into a slump, if you are new, take some time off, so go back in a little bit smaller sizes. And if you're an experienced trader, go back in with smaller sizes until you tweak what needs to be tweaked, prove that it is working, and then you start trading back on some bigger lots. Now, let's hop into rule number four. So rule number four, copy successful traders. There's a great saying. We've said it before in a lot of the videos we've posted. Do what they do, get what they get. Look, I understand when I first started trading, I was a very independent person from a young childhood. I've always been super independent. I've always wanted to do things on my own and kind of figure it out on my own. But when it comes to trading and investing, this can be extremely detrimental to not only your mental state, but also your pockets. And that obviously can lead into a lot of other things in your life to cause issues. So you definitely want to start copying successful traders, start implementing all of the things that they're implementing. Find a team, whether it's POE, we have a Discord community, a free course. We do live sessions, Q&As. We have the YouTube, social media pages. We're giving out so much free content that you can learn and start duplicating and imitating. But the last thing that you want to do when you first start trading, you're putting money on the line. So the last thing you want to start doing is start doing things on your own, learning by trial and error. Now, we've already made mistakes. You know, me and my partner, Jared, we've been trading for over 8 years combined. We've already made these mistakes. We've already went through all of the ups and downs. And now we want to teach you how to eliminate all the ups and the downs. Well, not all of them, but you know, the majority of the stupid mistakes. And if you stick to what we were saying, or like I said, there's a lot of free content out there, a lot of people out there, you know, find a mentor, find a coach, and start imitating and duplicating what they are doing. Let's just say you want to become a doctor per se. You want to become a doctor. You're not just going to research up YouTube videos, and you're definitely not going to practice legally, obviously, but you're not just going to start looking up, you know, WebMD and YouTube videos and things like that and try to start becoming your own doctor. You know, you're going to go to school, you're going to learn from people who have the knowledge of medicine or whatever field you're going into, learn from what they've done, learn from all of the studies and research that's been done, and then start implementing that into being a doctor. And you're going to be obviously a lot better of a doctor than the guy who just sits at home and researches on WebMD. You know, there's a lot of self-proclaimed people out there nowadays. And it's the same thing with trading. So rather than figuring things out from trial and error, like I said, there's a lot of content online where you can start learning from people who are already successful in the field that you want to be successful in. Every great team has a coach. Every great singer has a singing coach. Every great artist has a coach. Every great business person has a coach or a mentor. You need coaches and mentors in your life to start becoming more successful, because if not, it's going to take you a lot longer to get from point A to point B to C to D and so on than if you actually start learning from them, because then maybe you can go from A to C to F to G and you just so on, and you start, you know, shortening that curve to success. So definitely start copying other successful people, and then you will be a lot more successful yourself. So let's just recap the 4 rules that we talked about in today's video. Don't focus too much on the capital, on the P&L, on the money when you are just getting started. Number 2, create and develop good habits. Number 3, when you take a loss, when you go on a losing streak, cut back your lot size or take some time off, or you can definitely do both. Recommend both, especially if you are a beginner trader. And number 4, copy successful traders. If you implement these things into your everyday life, if you stick to these 4 rules, if you follow them every single day, you will be a lot more successful on your trading journey. Hopefully you guys found some value in this video. If you did, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our videos, dropping content 7 days a week for you guys. Check out the links in the description of this video to get into our free Forex trading course. Like I said, you know, copy successful traders. We're putting out this course for you. We normally charge $197. We're giving it to you today for free. So definitely take advantage of that to help you start learning how to trade in the foreign exchange markets. If it's something that you're interested in or want to do, make sure you also sign up to our Discord community. You can get a community of traders, copy our exact trades, start seeing what we're looking at on a day-to-day basis, getting access to live Q&As, one-on-one sessions, and so much more. So definitely get in the Discord. Make sure you also check out our recommended brokerages. We have Hugo's Way and Trader's Way as recommended brokerages. So definitely check those out. Hugo's Way is going to be for our US-based clients, and Trader's Way is a great alternative for people international. Make sure you also sign up to Robinhood and Webull to get a free stock on us, no strings attached. Simply sign up to those platforms and get a free stock on us when you do. Make sure you follow us on all major social media platforms at Copy My Profits. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.